Hello, all, and welcome to the Women Impacting the World's first annual gala. We are here today to honor a special guest with a Lifetime Achievement Award for the obstacles that she has overcome to make such an amazing impact on the lives of young women, not only in her country but around the world. Let us all go back to the tender age of 15 and reminisce on the carefree life that we were living and the fun that we were allowed to engage in. Now imagine that you're a 15-year-old young lady riding a bus home from school with friends, and then you are suddenly shot in the head by a member of Taliban. This was the reality for the life of our speaker this evening. My name is Mia Kennedy, and I am co-chairman of the organization Women Impacting the World. This organization was founded in order to shed a brighter light on the injustices that women face every day, but especially the injustices that we face when we are placed in a position of power and we have the authority to make a difference. I have been given the distinct pleasure to introduce to you all a phenomenal young lady who is defying all odds that have been stacked against us as women, more specifically against women in Pakistan and other countries similar to it. I met Miss Yousafzai last year during the interview that she did with the Time magazine. She touched on many different points, including the murder attempt on her life by the Taliban and the book I Am Malala, How One Girl Stood Up for Education and Changed the World. Since then, she has gone on to become a Nobel Peace Prize winner, a United Nations speaker, and an activist for women all around the world. Malala gained recognition a little before the age of 12 when she wrote anonymously as a blogger for the BBC, telling what it was like to live under the rules of the Taliban. As years passed, all girls' schools in the areas that Taliban control have been closed, and girls' basic rights to education have been taken away from them. Malala continued to speak out against the Taliban and in favor of the basic rights that were due to women in Pakistan. Malala was taken to Peshawar, where she delivered a powerful speech to the United Nations speaking out against the Taliban, which was forbidden in her country. This speech put her on the radar of the Taliban, who later targeted her in an unthinkable way. On what seemed to be a normal day in October, on the school bus with friends, Malala sat in a seat while some men on the Taliban boarded the bus asking for her by name. When they found out who she was, they shot her in the head with the intentions of killing her. Despite being shot at point blank range in the head, Malala survived long enough to make it to the hospital in Pakistan, where she underwent extensive surgery. She was later transferred to Birmingham, England, where she would spend months going through extensive medical treatments and recovering. Once she was well enough to speak, she continued to use her voice to speak out against the Taliban and speak up for justice. They thought that the bullets would silence me, but they failed. And then, out of the silence came thousands of voices. Weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage were born. Since then, Malala has received Nobel Peace Prizes and many other accolades all around the world. Malala is a prime example of how successful women can build a firm foundation with the bricks that others have thrown at them. She gives hope to many young ladies around the world who have been discouraged or even banned to pursue an education to benefit themselves and their families. So please, without further ado, join me in welcoming our guest of honor tonight, Miss Malala Yousafzai.